ですから、封印を開くために手段を講じる私の決断も尊重してくださいね。パンドラー！周りを見て攻撃を仕掛けないと危ないです。
エミリア、どうして森の外に逃がしたはずじゃ。
Hello everybody, Megazord here, back at it again to give you another very exciting video. And for today, I have none other than my ReZero episode 19 review called The Permafrost of Elior Forest. And if you hadn't already done so, you can go ahead and click that card in the corner and check out my episode 18 review. You just so happen to miss it, need a recap or anything like that. Before I dive up into this one, and man, I have got to say, you know what? Gosh dang, we finally got to the end of the stretch for like Emilia's arc, which could have been called like the flashback arc of her and her past. And gosh, by golly, like there was a whole bunch of talking in this one though, which almost kind of took me out of the loop for a moment though. But the conclusion, like the action parts of it, where we actually got to see the results of, you know, her resolve and what actually happened to her entire village from the point that she's been sort of kind of living in and trying to keep her not isolated, or her mother, or technically her aunt, was trying to keep her isolated in. It was very interesting to see how all of it played out and where it officially ended at. And we finally got to see the conclusions of that whole entire arc. So there's quite a bit of stuff I have to say about it though. So let's just go ahead and get up into it though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight up in this episode review for ReZero Season 2.
This is the fat I brought us in, watch mine on shine. But if I go round my roses, every from the bed is not enough. It's not enough for me to break the rule of this world. I'm never gonna leave you, never wanna lose you, but make it in the end. No more give that for real. I won't trust someone else's life. I know who I am.
It's been a rough journey, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. After 3 whole episodes of flashbacks, Emilia's past trial finally comes to an end. With its drawn out scenes and repetitive dialogue, this was not the strongest ReZero episode in the series so far, but it was still an enjoyable one at the core of it, because in the context of the whole series as a whole, it makes the overall stakes of the narrative significantly clearer. Looking back at the structure of ReZero's plot, each arc has successfully introduced more of the broader aspects of the world beyond Subaru's limited perspective. In the larger scheme of things, he is the supporting character in Emilia's quest to win the royal selection so that she can save her frozen village. Unlocking Emilia's memories also means the greater context of her narrative is revealed. We understood now why the witch's cult is after her. It's because she holds the key to an Omnius seal. In the end though, she protected her promise to Fortuna to the very end, which means that we still don't know what's behind the seal. It was also important to learn that the witch's cult is not necessarily a unified group, because it puts the scale of their attacks in the first season into context. In the previous episode, Regulus bore a grudge against Geese, and he even lashed out at Pandora for a perceived slight. With their insanely strong powers, the Sin Archbishops could probably crush Emilia's camp if they teamed up, but they don't do this because they followed their own whims. In her serene and unsettling way, however, Pandora has been manipulating everybody. It was a particularly striking moment when, after she uses her power to trick Geese into killing Fortuna, she whispers to him the chilling words that he later repeats to Subaru 100 years later. It was all for love. You offered up your very soul to save the one you love. All that you have done was out of love. A beautiful, wonderful symbol of love. Finally, this episode leaves a very strong implication that Emilia's magic powers are actually incredibly strong. So strong, in fact, that she was the one who actually caused, Elior Forest to freeze over in her desire to kill Pandora. Like, what the actual heck? Like, Emilia, girl, you had this much power, to where you can freeze a whole entire forest like this. and it barely seems like you're able to fight your own. Like, I need you, girl, to go ahead and step up, because I know you're a fighter, you know, at the core of it. You have potential, you just gotta pull it out of you. Now, given that Emilia has not displayed anything remotely resembling this level of power so far, I get the impression that her contract with Puck may be keeping her powers restrained. In other words, this arc is, you know, represents a turning point for Emilia in multiple ways as she grows into her role as the heroine. The highlight for me was her conversation with Ekidena, as she proves that she has the mental fortitude to face her past while also idealistically maintaining hope that she can save everybody one day. Having said all of this, I still think that this episode was good, but not nearly as, you know, crazy good as, you know, or had, you know, as much greater potential than the last two flashback episodes. While it was cool seeing Emilia's resolve throughout the episode, there were moments where, you know, some of the conversations of her younger self were a bit drawn out for my own liking, but overall, it's still a good episode. And that's basically all I have to say within this review for ReZero episode 19 though. But y'all gotta let me know down in the comment section down below, what all did you think about this episode? And man, I was just sort of kind of blown away at the, you know, the huge epiphany moment at the very end that Emilia has all of this untapped potential within her though. But it was through that, you know, contract with Puck that was probably, you know, holding her memories back, but also restraining some of her powers as well. And gosh, she just has so much potential. I think this is only a matter of time before she grows into the kind of woman that can be a respected heroine going from this point on in the series, where she can actually manage to hold her own within, you know, certain fights that might be going down later on in the future though. It's just all something that we have to, you know, watch out and see for. But I'm kind of glad that, you know, we finally got this flashback arc done with, over with, it's behind us, and now we're getting to look forward to what we have in the future, which I'm pretty sure at this point now we're going to be focusing on the mansion itself though. And man, we finally got to get the brand new opening for this series. It might have took like half the series before we were able to get it, but we finally managed to get it, and I was finally able to implement that new opening within this series. It wasn't just the same old no more. So yes, I was so glad to be able to make that brand new opening. I hope y'all really enjoyed that as well though. But that new opening, song wise, awesome, the bomb. Visually, it looks a little bit off, not as high quality though, but I just really love the song though. So it's, you know, it's an A+ in my book though. So that about does it for this review though. So if you really like this video, make sure to go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to stay up to date on all things ReZero that I feel like discussing this season, y'all. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, see y'all.
そんな非難がましい目で見られても知りませんけど。冗談だ冗談。もう一度聞こう。ここに何をしに来た。降伏勧告だ。聞いたぜ、シーマさんから。この聖域が作られた本当の理由を。